Hello students, part 1 I had given you yesterday. Now today I am going to give you part B, vocational skills, some base question for your coming examination. So let's see first all the questions and then I will explain you the answer. The first question is, what is a word processor? Then question number 2, what is the difference between a text editor and a word processor? Then question number 3, name the three word processor. Question number 4 is, how can you set a password to modify a Word document? So these are important questions. Let's see what are the next. Question number 5, what are the four major operations possible with MS Word? Then question number 6, how can you select an entire paragraph? What is the purpose of quick access toolbar? What are the different ways of applying character formatting? Question number 9, what are the options in font case? What is the difference between superscript and subscript? I am giving you the questions. I will explain the answer also one by one. What does a red wavy and a green wavy underline indicates? In which tab and in which group is the spelling and grammar option found? What is thesaurus? What is the difference between find and replace utility? And question number 15 is, what is the difference between replace and replace all? Then question number 16, name the different categories of text alignment. Then 17, what is vertical text alignment? Then 18 is, what is meant by indent? What are the different types of indent? Then 19, what is the difference between collated and uncollated option? Then question number 20, what are the different ways of inserting table in MS Word? Then 21, list the insert option available from the shortcut menu. In which tab and group is the convert to text option found? I will explain you all that from which chapter the questions are. It is mixed up from word processor and spreadsheet. So question number 23 is, describe the process of converting text to table. Then 24 is, list the setting in the border tab. Then 25, what is the difference between workbook and worksheet? Then question number 26, what are the important features of spreadsheets? Then 27, how are brackets used to specify negative numbers in worksheet? Then 28, how is the sum function used to add numbers? What is the quick way to extend the numbers to a longer sequence, for instance 1 to 20? Then question number 29, explain the use of if function with the help of an example. And the last one, question number 30. What is the purpose of wrapping text? So these are the 30 questions that may come in your examination. Let's see, answer one by one. So question number 1, I am going to explain you what is a word processor. You know very well what I am talking about. Word processor, like MS Word, that you have always opened and done computer lab many times and seen. So the definition of word processor is: a word processor is an application software which is capable of creating, editing, saving and printing documents. Okay. Now question number 2. What is the difference between a text editor and a word processor? See, you can extend the definition of word processor here for explaining the difference between a text editor and a word processor. A text editor is used for plain text, usually programming code interpreted by a computer. Means to say, here text editor is preferred for writing the coding of the programs in the computer. It do not allow, you can add here, it do not allow any design or formatting, whereas a word processor is capable of creating, editing, saving and printing document with lots of features and design. This is the difference. Then name the 3 word processor. The 3 word processor can be MS Word, Notepad, WordPad, then Open Office. In Open Office we have Open Office Writer. You can add here Writer. It comes in the MS Office, Open Office. Then question number 4. How can you set a password to modify a document? You have already done this, setting up the password in MS Word. Let's see the steps. We can set a password to modify a Word document in the following steps. The first step is, after typing the document, go on the File tab, the very first tab, and then select the Save As option. You have to go on the File tab and then go on Save As option. Here a dialog box appears. You have to select General. You have to select General option from Tool drop down arrow. Here tool drop down arrow, you can see tools, and beside tools you will find a drop down arrow, and after clicking the arrow you will get the option of General option. You have to go there. In newly opened dialog box, here again a dialog box appear. Here you have to set the password for opening or password for modifying the text. After typing the text, click OK. Then type once again the same password to confirm and click OK. Here after clicking OK, in the 4th step you will again get another dialog box in a step 5, where you have to retype the password and confirm it, and then you have to click OK. Now now our document is password protected. Okay, so these were the steps to protect your documents. Now question number 5. What are the 4 major operations possible with MS Word? See, the 4 major operations Means the four major work that we can do in MS Word are: the first one, creating and saving a document; then second one, opening an existing document; the third one, editing and formatting a document; the fourth one, previewing and printing a document. Means to say, these are the major operations that we can do in MS Word. Now let's see question number 6. How can you select an entire paragraph? So there are different way of selecting an entire paragraph. You can see here, by triple clicking anywhere in the paragraph. If you are triple clicking anywhere in the paragraph, it will be selected, or by double click in the left margin of the paragraph. Okay, so in the left margin, if you double click, then it will be selected, and if you want to select by clicking triple times, you have to click it anywhere in the paragraph, and this will help you in selecting entire paragraph. Now question number 7. What is the purpose of quick access toolbar? The quick access toolbar provides an easy access to the frequently used command buttons. So there are command buttons like cut, copy, paste, save. These are the command button by which we can do a lots of operation in MS Word. So in the quick access toolbar, you will find this type of option. It can be customized and more buttons can be added or removed according to our requirement. Here you can add some more buttons in the quick access toolbar, or it can be removed also. It depends upon the requirement of the user. Means if you want to add some more, you can add. Now question number 8. What are the different ways of applying character formatting? So the different ways of applying character formatting are: the first one using keyboard, and the second one is using home tab, and the third one is by using shortcut menu. These are the three ways by which we can apply character formatting. Now question number 9. What are the options in font case? So let's see what are the options that are available in font case. So in font case, there is first one, sentence case. What is sentence case? Sentence case capitalizes the first letter of the selected sentence. Means it only capitalizes the first letter of the sentence. In the lower case, the B1, it converts the selected text to lowercase, and the C number, uppercase, convert the selected text into uppercase, and the D number, capitalize each word. It is some special in which the first letter of each selected word converted into uppercase. And then toggle case. Toggle case is also some special one. You can see, convert the case of each of every selected character in the reverse manner. What is reverse manner? A capital character will convert into a lower case, and vice versa. Means the lower case become the upper case, and the upper case become lower case. So now question number 10. What is the difference between a superscript and subscript? The superscript options place the selected text slightly above the baseline. However, on the contrary, the subscript option places the selected text slightly below the baseline. It means that this is the example. With the example, you can understand very well. This is called subscript. In subscript, certain text is written just below the baseline, and in superscript, text is written just above the baseline. Now question number 11. What does red and greeny wavy underline indicate? You must have seen the green or red wavy line below the word or sentence in MS Word. What does it indicate? A red wavy line under any word indicates the incorrectness of the word, means the word written is wrongly spelled. Whereas a green wavy underline indicate that there is grammatical error in the word or sentence. If it is green, it means that it is correct, but the syntax or the grammar is not correct according to the sentence or situation. Now let's see question number 12. In which tab and in which group is the spelling and grammar option found? So spelling and grammar option is found in the proofing group, okay, of review tab. It is written by mistake, it is not present here. Okay, group of review tab. There is review tab in MS Word where you can find proofing group, and in the proofing group you will find grammar and spelling check. Now question number 13. What is thesaurus? The thesaurus is a built-in dictionary that enables us to look up synonyms, antonyms, word substitutes and alternative spelling in MS Word. So thesaurus, actually this question when it will come in your exam, it will be there written in MS Word or MS PowerPoint, whatever. But here thesaurus, I am explaining you, this was the question in your book. Thesaurus give us the way of finding the synonymous meaning, antonyms meaning and word substitute, means a same word that can be used in place of the word that we have entered, and alternative spelling. There are some different types of spelling for the same word. For example, you may have seen that somewhere it is written COLOR color and somewhere it is written COLOUR. So both are correct. So there is alternative spelling in MS Word, it is given. So thesaurus give us the facility of these all the things by which we can write very correct. Now question number 14. What is the difference between find and replace utility? Let's see. Find utility is used to find a word or a group of words in the document. So with the help of find, we can find any word or any sentence or any phrase in the MS Word. Whereas find and replace utility is used to replace a word or sentence in the document by replacing the previous one. Okay, so here we get the facility with the find and replace, that the same word can be find and replaced by some another word that we are giving, and both the find and replace options are found available in editing group of the home tab. This is important. This may be asked in your Viva or practical. Okay, so question number 15 now. What is the difference between replace and replace all option in MS Word? Actually this is question from MS Word. Replace button replaces the search text given in the replace with the text box once only. So replace option or replace button replace only one text at a time, and do not convert all the or do not replace all the text, similar text in the document. Whereas replace all button replace all the search text with the new text in one go. In one time it convert all the search text into the given new one. Now question number 16. Name the different categories of text alignment. So there are two categories of text alignment, that is, the first one is horizontal, and the second one is vertical. But in horizontal text alignment, it is further of four types, that is align text left, align text right, then center and justify. Vertical text alignment is only vertical text alignment, don't have any further division. What is vertical text alignment then? Vertical text alignment align the text with respect to the top and bottom margin of the page. Means it help in arranging the text. For example, you can see this is the space. This is the space between what and this vertical. Here this space is vertical alignment. So now next question is 18 number. What is meant by indent? What are the different types of indent? So indent is another thing other than margin. It is not similar to margin. The space or the distance between the text boundaries and the page margin is called indent. For example, you can see this is the margin. From here to here it is the margin, but I have started writing by giving some space between the margin and my word. So this space is called indent. Okay, so the space between the text boundaries and the page margin is called indent. The different types of indent are left indent, right indent, then a special indent which include three more options, that is first line, hanging and none, then bar indent. Now let's see question number 19. What is the difference between collated and the uncollated option? In collated option, printer will print the complete copy of the document. Means to say it complete one set. For example, here I have explained you for printing 5 copies of 10 pages document. Pages from 1 to 10 is printed first, and again 1 to 10 printed, and so on. Means it is getting bundled from 1 to 10 one by one. But in uncollated option, while in uncollated option the first page will be printed for 5 times, means only the first page comes first all the 5 times, and then second again 5 times, and so on. So this is the difference. So in uncollated, complete set of document is not printed. Means 1 to 10 it do not printed, it printed 1 to 5 of only first page 5 times, then second page 5 times. It do not get set in a complete page number. Okay, so now question number 20. What are the different ways of inserting a table in MS Word? There are 4 different ways of inserting a table in MS Word, and let's see what are the 4 ways. And the first one is by using the table grid option. This option is present where I have written here that in the table group of the insert tab we can insert the table by using the grid option. By using insert table option, this is the B number. This option is also available in the table group of insert table, which asks number of rows or number of columns, and then the table generated. Then question number then C number option for inserting a table. We can draw table also by drawing table option. It is also available just below insert table option, using which we can draw table. We can as we use pencil for drawing. So it is like pencil, and we can draw a table with the help of that very option. And the last one is quick table option. We can use insert a predefined table using the quick table option from the table drop down menu. This is the last option given in table drop down menu, and you can select this for inserting a quick table or predefined table, that is table that is before you have worked on it, and uh, it is there for your quick access. Now let's see question number 21. List the insert option available from the shortcut menu. See, in the above question we had seen shortcut menu. Let's see what are the features, the insert option available from the shortcut menu. The first one is insert column to the left. The second one is insert column to the right. You can go in the MS Word and insert table, and you can see this option. This option is also present in MS Excel, and this is the shortcut menu for inserting columns to the left, inserting column to the right, and then insert rows above and insert rows below, and insert cell. Now we have entered in MS Excel, in which tab and group is convert to text option font. Okay, so this is also question from MS Word, not in MS Excel. So in MS Word you can add in the questions, or it may come in your exam written there that what are the in which tab and group is the convert to text option found in MS Word. In the data group of layout tab, in the layout tab there is data group, and here you can find convert to text option. Now question number 23. Describe the process of converting text to table. We can convert text into table in the following step. Let's see how to convert. This is question from MS Word. The first step is select the desired text, whatever the text is written. On the insert tab in the table group, click on the table button. Now select the convert to text table, means where you was finding drawing a table table options for drawing table or for inserting table. Here you will find also the second last option, that is given convert text to table, and you have to go there. Here after clicking the convert text to table, you will have a new dialog box appeared in your window. In the new dialog box, under the table size section, in the number column box, specify the number of column. So here you have to tell about the number of column or the rows you want, and then then next step, in the autofill we have here select any of the suitable option. So section, okay, here it is section. So autofill behavior is something which automatically understand the number of rows or column in the there should be in the table of the text you have selected. So here you have to select any of the suitable option that you want. Then after, choose the tabs radio button in the separate text at the section at the section, and then finally you have to click on OK. So after clicking OK, you will get the thing, and you will get the table in your document. Now let's see question number 24. List the setting in the border tab. What are the different settings that we get in border tab? So border tab appeared in after clicking this border and setting option. Here you get the option like none, then box, then shadow, then 3D box, and then custom. These are the options that are available. Now question number 25, and here this question is from Excel. What is the difference between workbook and worksheet? So a workbook is a collection of 2 or more worksheets. It is like a complete notebook. Here you will find many pages. On the other hand, a worksheet is like a single page composed of a very large number of cells, which are the basic storage for data in the file or a workbook. So worksheet is single page and workbook is a collection of pages, and worksheet contain the contain several number of rows and columns which forms the cell, and in the cell we write the or store the data. Question number 26, what are the important features of a spreadsheets? So a spreadsheet have certain features. Let's see what are the different features. The first features is functions and formulas. Here functions are the built-in formula used for making calculations such as calculating percentage, interest, average, etc. Means with the help of function you don't need to define it, you don't need to write the formula. It is already written formula and it is used for calculating the percentage, interest, average, etc. many of the functions. And formulas are mainly used for performing simple or complex calculation. Formula can be defined by the user at the time of use. This is one of the features, function and formulas. Now second feature is formatting features. These features are used for improving the appearance of data. You can use some color, you can use some design for formatting the document of worksheet. Now auto calculation. What is auto calculation? After implementing formula, the range of cell or cells value automatically get calculated. That is auto calculation occur. Now fast searching and instant resplashing of data. Here you get the facility or the features of getting find and replace as you were getting in MS Word. Then auto filling option. We can write 1, 2 and then drag it by selecting, and then the series will be completed up to whatever number of lines numbers you want to write. It will get generated automatically. Similarly for generating January, February, it can be generated. That is auto filling options is available there. Then auto data can be viewed in graphical form such as chart. We can create chart in MS Excel also. There are different types of chart, so it is also one of the feature of MS Excel. Now data can be arranged in ascending or descending order. Sorting process can be done in MS Excel, so it is also important features of MS Excel. So beside this there are some more features also. Now but up to this I have written. You may read the book for further more options. Now question number 27. How are brackets used to specify negative number in a spreadsheet? See in MS Excel what we write, bracket, how bracket is used. Simply enclosing a number in parenthesis means if you are writing number in parenthesis, Excel treat it as a negative number. For example, if you are writing in bracket 24 in a cell, then Excel mean that it is minus 24. Now question number 28. How is the sum function used to add numbers? What is the quick way to extend the number to a longer sequence, for instance 1 to 20? So here the answer is the sum function. Yes, the sum function adds all the numbers in a given range of cell that we specify as argument. So argument is needed to add the number, and some function add all the numbers that is given in the argument. So there are different way of passing the argument. The first one is C equal to sum 1 2 3 up to 20 we can write here, and this will return the sum of 1 to 20, that is 210. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus like this 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to 20. Okay, it will return by simply giving comma and writing the sum. Then second way, sum a1 to a5 is to a5. So this will give the sum of all the numbers in the range a1 to a5. Then equal to sum a1 is to a5 comma 10. Here this will return the sum of a1 to a5, means it will calculate, it will add the number given in a1 to a5, and in that very answer it will add 10 also together as a result. Then D number 5 5 and then true. In Excel, computer understand true as 1, so this will return 11, that is 5 plus 5 is 10 and plus 1 is 11. Then equal to sum in inverted comma it is 5 and then 15 and then true. Here it again in the inverted comma whatever it is written, it computer convert it into, or Excel convert it into number, and then it add the number simply, that is 21, that is 15 plus 5 20 and true is for 1 21. Now question number 29, explain the use of if function with the help of an example. So if function is a conditional function, so it means that it checks the condition for its propagation or its functioning. It returns on value if a condition we specify evaluate to true. One, here I have done a mistake. Here you have to write 1. So you add here. So it returned one value, means first value, if a condition we specify evaluates to true, means if the given condition is true, it gives the first answer, and if another answer or another value if that condition evaluates to false. If it is false, it will give another option, another answer. For example, you can see here, if a1 greater than 100, 250, 200. Here what it will done, this means that if the value in the cell a1 is greater than 100, if it is greater than 100, then the function return 250, else it will return 200. It means else part is the false. Okay, if it is false, then it will return 200. Then the last question, what is the purpose of wrapping text in Excel? Okay, it is question, it will in question it will given Excel. So see, wrapping text means displaying multiple lines within the cell. In MS Excel, if you will use wrapping text option, then you can write multiple lines within a single cell. The wrap text feature in Excel help us in displaying long text in a single cell without overflowing it to another cell. So these were the questions. Beside each questions, some shortcut keys that is given in MS Word and in MS Excel will also come. Some true false and some fill in the blanks. You have to go through your book, and if possible I will also provide you some shortcut keys in my further videos. But keep reading and learning these all the chapters. These were the guest question. Thank you students. Bye bye.